who needs the host of the show when we can just we can handle it ourselves. Like, oh hey, nothing. We weren't
All right
about you or anything.
All right, here we go. Let's start this thing over. All right, here we go. Thanks everybody for joining episode number 12 of Sit Down Marks. This is going to be a fun episode today, man. I want to welcome my host here, co-host to the show from the land of the rattlesnake, Mr. Team Extreme himself. You better acknowledge him, editor and producer of the show, Primo.
I'm not Thank you.
Thank you. Acknowledge me, AJ. You know you should acknowledge your champion.
Yeah, that's a pretty fancy trophy. See what I did there? I acknowledged the trophy.
Yeah. Definitely is. All right, my other co-host, we just found out, man, he's no longer from Chicago. He's no longer from the mean streets. Nope. This guy is now residing straight out of Yo Mama's Kitchen, assistant editor and producer of the show. Everybody welcome AJ.
Straight.
Your mama's kitchen. Yeah. Not mine. Your mama's kitchen.
Right. And not crooked out of your mama's kitchen. Yeah. Straight. Not
straight
crooked.
Out of your mama's kitchen. Where the biscuits come from.
On out. I want to thank everybody on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher now, Google Podcasts, Sportinarium.com online radio Fridays at 7:15 right after the Thomas Bryce Show. All right, guys, there's a lot that's happened here. There was some breaking news that dropped not long ago, so we're going to get to that right after we thank our sponsors. First of all, Coastland Apparel, coastlandapparel.com. Use that promo code BIRD, BIRD. You see the boys rocking all the gear tonight. I got the Coastland shirt and hat tonight. AJ's got the shirt, Primo the hat. Man, we're doing it right here, man. Absolutely. All right. So our other sponsor, let's talk about this, man. I got a little cherry limeade today. What are you guys bringing to the show tonight?
Rowdy. Sour green apple rowdy.
I've never had it. We have the cotton candy. Never.
Ooh.
That's Dirty's favorite.
Is it?
Yeah, it's one of my favorites. It's right there up at the top.
That tastes like donut frosting.
Crack it open. A little bit of bubbly.
Just a little bit of the bubbly.
Which is not here yet. I got back in town and was like, I don't care about like new mic, headphones, whatever. I'm like, where's my little bit of the bubbly? Not here, unfortunately.
Oh.
But this is pretty good. Tastes like a circus.
It does. A circus in your mouth.
A circus in your mouth.
Yep. That counts as an impression.
Yep. That does count. Yep, there's one. All right, Primo, let's get this episode rolling, man. This day in wrestling history and birthdays. Let's roll.
This day in wrestling history, June 2nd.
Always look forward to this.
As you should. 1987, the Honky Tonk Man defeats Ricky Steamboat for the Intercontinental Championship, brother.
One of my least favorite matches of all
time.
On
the Honky Tonk Man.
Man. He's a honky tonk man. I'm cocky. I'm cool. I'm bad.
He didn't. I'm not going to be about honky tonk. Moving on
to 2004.
I hate him so much.
This is 2004. Jeff Jarrett defeats Ron Killings.
The Truth.
Ron the Truth Killings.
Ron the Truth Killings. That's right. AJ Styles, Raven, and Cowboy Chris Harris in the first ever King of the Mountain match to win the NWA World Heavyweight Championship in TNA back in the day, 2004.
But that would be a fun match to watch.
Woo!
I didn't see it.
Interesting concept. So moving forward 1 year.
Okay.
It's kind of I threw this on here because it's kind of, he's a current traveling champion in modern times. So 2005, Kenny Omega defeated Chris Sabin in the finals of the Premier Championship Wrestling's Premier Cup to become the first NWA Canadian X Division champion.
Ooh, Canadian. Now we're really branching out on belts here. The Canadian X Division tag team.
Collector.
The Canadian X Division tag team Intercontinental.
Bantamweight.
European, North American.
Right. Midwestern.
So that's this day in history. Moving on to the birthdays, we have 1988. We have Grotto. You remember him?
Grotto.
TNA.
Yep,
That's where I remember him.
Yep.
1977. He also built a TNA, almost said his name, but he also, if you remember, SmackDown is the house that AJ Styles built, because AJ Styles was born on this day in 1977.
1977.
The phenomenal one. Happy birthday to AJ.
How is he still
AJ Styles, man?
He's still in his prime.
He's looking excellent.
Oh yeah,
insane.
Golly, man, yeah. Watch that guy wrestle so much,
stole my name,
and still interested to this day in watching him wrestle.
Did he steal your name? Were you born first?
I was AJ first. That counts.
I
wrote him a letter. He did not write me back.
Gimmick infringement.
Yes.
1958, our last birthday of the night.
Okay.
The total package.
Lex
Express, baby, all American.
Oh, the Lex Express. He had the American van, and it was all.
Yes, sir. And that is this day in wrestling history and today's birthdays. Let's go.
All right, let me tell you about this, though, about Lex. People say what they want, but, me growing up watching NWA, he was the chiseled, perfect. He had the gold locks, and I'll tell you what, man.
He was the total package?
Yeah, you could say he was the total package. One might say. That'd be good. They should put that on him, Might get him somewhere. But no, honestly, though, I don't know if you guys remember the old NWA United States Heavyweight Championship. I seen a picture of him just the other day, and he was wearing that, and just
was he really?
Just natural. It just looked like it just fit him, man. It was just a beautiful picture, man. It's a great looking belt. He just looked like just the ultimate wrestler's wrestler. Yeah. So I love watching Lex. He was a powerhouse, man. Then I got older and didn't like him so much, but
he as getting older and going back and watching old pay-per-views and stuff, he steals every match that he's in. You can't I remember watching what's the dippy one where Hogan and Macho had to go into the cage and there were 3 floors of the cage and
three stages of
stages of hell. Yes.
I don't know if that's what it was called back then, but it might have been,
3 stages of wrestling.
It just reminds me of, you've ever seen the movie Ready to Rumble?
Yes.
One more thing I want to say about Lex, man. I always loved, he was one of the best hot tags out there. Mm-hmm. If he was in a tag team with somebody and they were getting to him, I always loved seeing Lex come in and clear house with he would clothesline everybody with just a straight.
He's got the
straight walk, it was an awesome hot tag.
I think it's hilarious that we have only been live for all of 12 minutes, and AJ's tweet about Muncie, Indiana was already asked about.
Yes, it was. He said, Klepto said, okay, I don't have a lot of time, but I really must know, where does Muncie, Indiana fall on our list of greatest wrestling cities? I said number 6 as a joke. Probably more like 1006. But Muncie, Indiana, lovely little town. Nothing against them. They are just not a wrestling town. They're a town where Ball State is. That's where David Letterman went to college.
I tried to just pick the worst or the weirdest sounding city. Why do you know so much about Muncie, Indiana?
I retained all information.
Very little about Indiana in general, besides the Colts and the Hoosiers.
All right, guys. Let's get this pod rolling, man. All right, so just hours ago, huge news was dropped from the WWE all across social media. AJ, tell us what happened, man.
So, WWE, they recently went through a range of pretty controversial releases with, Samoa Joe being the chief name among them. And then, today, another round of releases, and some of these people...
This is a big list here.
This is insane. So, I'm going to start...
This is roster moving, clearing. Yeah. Start at the top.
So, we have Braun Strowman released today.
Wow.
Okay.
I believe he was in a main event championship program not too long ago.
Yeah, I mean, he just wrestled a McMahon not long ago, so, okay.
Aleister Black, who they just
sense.
brought him back, and he got inserted into the Intercontinental title picture.
That one really, really surprised me.
Wow. Me too.
Just returned.
He was getting the videos, the packages for a big return. This one, I don't understand this one more than any of them, but okay.
It made no sense. They're like, we're going to build you up and bring you back. Just kidding, you're fired.
Yeah.
Up next.
All those rumors about Zelina coming back probably shot down next.
Yeah,
I didn't go look, but apparently Aleister went on Zelina's Twitch and said something earlier. So yeah, yep.
Up next is Lana, which still kind of a big name, but
not surprised. Crush, not surprised, but surprised because she's had matches.
Yeah, recent
on TV
with Naomi.
Yeah, but this may that one probably
her glow. They were only feeling Naomi's glow.
I'm surprised that after Rusev was let go, that that she stuck around. Another one who has been on TV quite a bit lately, Ruby Riott, is now unemployed.
Heidi, come back to the Indies. We want you. Heidi Lovelace.
Heidi Lovelace. The best thing for her, actually.
Oh, yeah. Her character just never really worked on WWE TV, and she can do so much.
Yeah. Riot Squad was a good little faction for a minute. Fell apart. It was, kind of a
She was the only one out of that faction I took seriously.
Yep, me too.
Yeah.
She also had the coolest look in that faction. Like, she just looks awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Up next is Murphy, also known as Buddy Murphy, who is probably was one of the most talented guys on the roster. Yep.
Yeah, great wrestler, bad talker.
Yeah.
Yeah, no mic skills. Well, he ain't gonna sell me on a match. I'm gonna watch it because of his athleticism. You know what I mean? And for what I think it's gonna be good, but he ain't gonna sell me on a match like.
No.
I'll see you Sunday, brother. No,
it's like no, you won't.
I mean, that's he didn't conform to the Messiah, so I mean,
I know it was his main problem.
Yeah.
All right. Anybody else on that list, AJ? Was that
There's one more kind of minor one, Santana Garrett, which hasn't been featured in who knows how long, and so that one wasn't very surprising either.
Yeah, I feel like she's been signed and released a few times. And she's been in the women's tournaments and stuff. All right, so let's break this down real quick. What makes sense? All right, we don't know if they're going to have to wait months before they get back on TV. AJ, what are you thinking?
So the fact that they were released instead of their contracts expiring means that there will be a waiting period between when they can go work for another company. Whereas if their contracts expired, they could just show up the next day.
Walk right out. Yeah.
So it's going to be. I don't know how long all of them will be on the shelf. I imagine some of them can be available right away. I'm hoping Aleister Black shows up in AEW tonight because that would be amazing.
All right, next question for everybody here, real quick, and then we'll move on. Crazy, because last week, we'll talk about it later, but, the whole WWE New Japan talks were allegedly happening. Now, this week, they're letting some top stars go. I'm reading today, it sounds like a lot of people are thinking it's because Cena and Lesnar are coming back, and they're about to go back live. They want to get more people on, I mean, you can read all kinds of tons of reasons, but all right, so let's put this in a nutshell. What happens next with these guys? Let's talk Braun first. Where do you see Braun go? Why? What makes sense? I don't know. I'm going to start with it. I don't know if AEW makes sense. I feel like he's probably going to be an Impact guy because he could be a big figure there, is what I'm saying. But I don't know. I don't know.
Go back to doing strongman.
Yeah. See, I can see him.
Bring the Wyatt family back.
Oh, the poor what? There's no Wyatts left.
Follow the buzzards.
That was like my favorite.
Rowan made an appearance in AEW after Brody Lee passed.
Mm-hmm. He did. I can see Braun going to New Japan and just be a monster.
He'd be another
American.
Lord Tensai.
Lord Tensai, yes. Albert.
Yeah, more inside.
I'm so curious to know what happened there. Like, he just wrestled Shane at WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
He also just wrestled in a triple threat match for the WWE Championship.
Mm-hmm.
Something went awry there. Like, or was he not agreeing with what they were doing with him? Was he getting hard to work with?
I know, it's kind of weird too, because it's like, Rusev and Zelina just got released not long ago. Now we're Alistair and Lana. You know what I mean? So it's hard not to think that
that's
way.
One of those things.
So
it was like they did them separately. So it's like if they would have done Miro and Lana together, they'd be like, well, you're punishing me because I'm married to him. But now since it's like 6 months later,
it's like, see, no, we didn't mean to punish you guys at all. This is totally separate incidences. It's like, it might not be.
Yeah. All right, really quick, Alistair. I say AEW first. I think he fits right in there. I don't think they're going to sign all these guys. I mean, that's the first thing we think. That's how our mind has changed. Our wrestling minds, when somebody gets released from one of the other companies, which other company are they showing up?
I mean, you think as soon as Aleister Black, you mean Tommy Gunn, as soon as he goes, the news dropped, his phone's ringing.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So it's like it's the same thing that they think. Probably it's their livelihood. It's their paycheck. So
sure.
They're already booking things probably.
Yeah. What I like too is the idea of the indies getting kicked back up, and some of these guys getting released, and some of these companies like AEW, Impact can
reap the benefits from them dumping some resources into like 3 Brock Lesnar matches. I almost
there you go. Yep.
You know where Braun Strowman should go.
Hot dog eating contest.
AAW.
Yep. Let's see. When are we going? August. Yeah.
August. Yeah.
AAW Chicago.
I want to watch Braun Strowman against Leo Rush in AAW.
That'd be amazing.
I would love that.
And watch Leo just run circles around him.
All right, real quick, what you guys
bump around?
Think about the rest of the way. Buddy Murphy seems like an Impact.
Yeah, he's got
Impact or
Ring of Honor.
Ring of Honor is what I was thinking too.
Yeah, Heidi, I'm thinking Impact. AEW has a pretty stacked women's division right now. There's a lot of girls over there that ain't getting on TV right now. So, so she might fit a little more in Impact. I would love it if she came back to the Indies. But, Lana, honestly, I'm good.
Yeah, fine.
I'm good. I do not want to see her with Rusev or Miro.
That's probably. No. I feel like that's 90% chance going to happen. That's.
I know, and it bothers me.
Please.
She's just going to come back out, and Rusev's going to be in a tank coming out the entrance. She's going to go back from having a Georgia accent back to having a Russian accent.
Back to Russian. Yes.
All right, let's get this show underway, man.
You forgot about Santana Garrett.
We thought about Santana Garrett.
She's going to work at the Sunglass Hut, is what Santana Garrett is going to do. Or a Hot Topic. I can see her selling T-shirts at Hot Topic.
I mean, she can make outfits. She does have some very flashy outfits. So if she makes those on her own, she could sell those.
Your outfit.
Outfit. All right, guys, officially, welcome to the show. I'm your heel host, Dirty Bird. You guys know who those other guys there. We're going to talk about a lot of wrestling today. We're going to cover the week in wrestling. We are also, I don't have one at the moment, should have one to show you, but if you're listening out there, if you'd like some free stickers, man, message me on Twitter or Facebook. Oh, the boys are showing them there. If anybody's checking those out, right there they are. Brand new Sit Down Marks stickers. Go to my Facebook or Twitter. Drop your name and address there in a message, in a private message, actually. There you go. AJ's got them right up
Sometimes
front.
He dances.
Sometimes he dances. Sometimes. He likes the Macarena. That's his favorite. But yeah, message us, man. We're giving out free stickers, and we ship them anywhere in the continental United States, absolutely free. So If you would like some Sit Down Marks stickers, then let us know. We might even throw some Primo Silver Fox stickers in there or Dirty Bird stickers, as we're seeing right there. So, all right, so that's the show today. First of all, man, I want to thank everybody for listening on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio. We are now on Stitcher, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and every Friday night on Sportinarium Radio, onlineradio.com, 7:15 Eastern Time, right after the Thomas Bryce Show. So there's a lot of ways for us to get in your ears now. So anyway, you want to listen to us, but we appreciate all the downloads and subscriptions, man. We've got a lot of big things coming up, and when I say big things, I mean big things, man. We got some fun stuff coming here. We're only in episode 12, and big things are happening here.
Those of you that have been with us since our early episodes, you're going to be pretty happy with what we got coming up, and you're going to be proud that you were some early day one listeners.
Absolutely. Got a lot of changes coming to the show. We're going to keep the same format. We're just going to be adding and interchanging some things. So as for first show, I want to let everybody know we're going to kind of trim down our recap so we can talk more kind of like the stuff that we want to talk about here on the show. So we're going to trim down our weekly recaps. Now, each show will absolutely still get covered. We will just be shortening it just a little bit so we can get more to other things that we have planned for the show. So, all right, quick little note as we get started, AJ, with AEW. Was supposed to be on last Wednesday, did not come on. They moved it to Friday. Basically, Friday was like a little hype show, a weigh-in with Cody and a go-go. So I'll let you cover that real quick, and then we'll move on to Impact.
So the AEW Live Dynamite on Friday, like you said, it was a weigh-in with Cody Rhodes, Anthony Ogogo, whatever. There was a celebration of the Inner Circle, which again was whatever, and then a whole list of squash matches that were just there to like hype up the people who were in the big matches on Sunday.
Right.
And then there was an Orange Cassidy response to Kenny Omega's offer to defer his title. Not a whole lot happened. Obviously, it was just to build up to the pay-per-view, and in that case, it did a pretty good job. I watched it. I was interested.
Yeah, I watched it too. I'll say this. I know you got something to say, Primo, too. I'll say this. Two things that came across my mind during that thing, and they were freaking awesome. The first thing was I got goosebumps when the show started, hearing fans at the show, fireworks, everybody pumped. The wrestlers cut, man, it was awesome. I kind of got a little bit of goosebumps right now talking about it, man. But I tell you what, but the other thing that gave me goosebumps, and I don't know if you guys felt this way or not. I know this is family show, so I'm not going to say, but this is how I want to express this here. When Cody came out for this weigh-in, this man is building a freaking empire. Like, I felt like this dude was the world heavyweight champion.
The family he has with him?
Yes! The entourage, the tracksuits, everybody's the Nightmare family. Like, this man came out, he is building an empire, folks, right in front of our eyes, and we need to recognize that this is happening. This dude is putting the Rhodes name back on the top of the map. He's putting AEW right up there at the top of the map. He's making things feel important. Now, we'll talk about other things later about how matches go, but man, importance, and just the pomp and circumstance of everything. He's really into that, and I love that about Cody, man. I do, and he's putting on a show, man. It felt so important when he walked out. I felt like a king was showing up here, like to wave to his people, like what I mean, like I'm here to weigh in front of all of you, like I don't know, man. He's building an empire, guys. We're watching it.
He's like the better version of Triple H is what Cody Rhodes is basically doing right now.
With that empire that he's building, I like that you made such a serious note about Cody, and I'm going to do 100% 180.
As am I.
All right. I will say the other thing. Go ahead.
So I just wanted to say how I thought I was laughing so hard how Anthony Ogogo comes out in these when he does his weigh in. So he does his second, but
Sure.
he did his weigh in these like UK flag underwear, like completely showing off his thing. And Cody's got on like straight Fruit of the Loom or Hanes. I was just laughing so much.
He's a common man. He's a common man's son.
One solid color.
Son of a plumber.
Let's go.
Son of a plumber.
He's like, yeah. So I just thought that was funny.
His Fruit of the Loom.
Oh, I love it.
And,
I love it.
then he's like giving away his tracksuit, so he's gonna walk backstage in his underwear. So
Yeah.
Like
I love
like
Cody,
a common
man.
would.
He cuts fire promos. I still love, probably my favorite promo was him not long ago when he cut it. I was actually there. It was in Champaign, Illinois. AEW was like Wednesday Night Dynamite when he cut the promo, and it might have been a little different for me because I was there. But he cut the promo on MJF when he threw the car keys. He took his watch off. He threw the watch. You know what I mean? You remember that? Yeah, that was in Champaign, folks.
Was it really?
Yes. I like the one he did the other day, actually, about being the American Dream.
Yeah,
that was really good.
So, man, I love this weigh-in. Very well laid out, very well put out there. I liked it. It did its job. So that will lead up to the Double or Nothing pay-per-view card, which we'll talk about a little later on. All right, so that was actually Friday. We're used to AEW being Wednesday, so that was actually Friday. So we'll back up to Thursday now for Impact. So not a whole lot happened here. We're still setting up matches. They're on their way to Against All Odds, which is June the 12th. But they're really already talking about Slammiversary. July 17th is going to be. They're talking about surprises and all that coming up. But Against All Odds, Joe. June 12th. All right, so basically, in a nutshell, this show basically was about Moose and Sammy picking up steam with their eventual battle. It looks like Morrissey, a.k.a. Big Cass, cuts a interview that felt like it was 30 minutes long. He almost put me to sleep because I was kind of looking into his eyes, and I was like, oh,
is he doing the intense thing?
No intense, yes. And I was just like, he's going to make me pass out or turn to stone, one of the two. But so anyway, so he just said basically he's pissed. He don't have any friends in the business. So, basically just pumping himself up. The other thing, TJP and Josh Alexander next week, they're doing this thing called BTI next week. And you can go to ImpactWrestling.com, I think it is, or Impact Plus. Anyway, and an hour before Impact comes on, Josh Alexander and TJP are going to be in a 60-minute Iron Man match. So it sounds like the last 15 minutes of that or so is going to be on the actual show. So that's how they're going to start it off. So anyway, 3 big points of the show tonight. Third point was Violent by Design came out, new tag team champions. Eric Young cuts an awesome promo. I still love listening to Eric Young talk.
I love Eric Young.
He can talk, man. This dude can talk. And he was like, we won the tag team titles by design. We took out Finn Juice by design. Like he just kept doing this by design, eventually leading to that's why we are Violent by Design. But anyway, so interesting swerve. He's cutting a promo, and then he is interrupted by Kojima, New Japan legend, and he comes out and basically looks at Eric Young he comes out, gets in the ring. Joe Doring gets in the front, which they've had matches. Joe Doring and Kojima have had plenty of matches, and Kojima basically looks at Joe and says, "Against all odds," and Joe gives him the nod, and gets out of the ring. So they're setting that up. All right. So next up, the continued feud between Brian Myers and Matt Cardona, aka. Whoa. You know it. So from last week, they showed Myers throwing Cardona into a wall. And basically they're saying now that Cardona is going to be out for 12 weeks. So he
Oh,
must
come
have
on.
That must
gotten
have been a wall.
hurt or taken a break or something
He's been
along
thrown
those
into a lot of
lines.
walls. He
I
got
know.
thrown off the stage in a wheelchair.
Must have been an actual wall that he got thrown into.
Yeah, so but anyway, everything led up to our main event, Good Brothers versus Moose and Callahan, because previously in the show, Moose and Callahan were out there chopping it up with each other. Moose! Oh, excuse me. And then so Don Callis ends up coming out, and he ended up making a match. And so, but anyway, so the match played out to basically beef going on between Moose and Sammy. They kind of kept sabotaging each other throughout the match. So Moose ended up kneeing Sammy when he goes to go for like a power bomb earlier in the match, and Sammy comes back later, bicycle kicks Moose off the apron, and then the Good Brothers grab Sammy, put him in the Magic Killer. 1, 2, 3. It's over. And then so Moose jumps back in the ring, grabs Sammy by the head, looks at him and says, "I told you, stay out of my business." And that's the way the show goes off. Against All Odds coming up June 12th. Not a whole lot happened. Basically, yeah, that was it. So, all right. So we talked about the weigh-in already for AEW. So Primo, start us off here with SmackDown from last Friday.
Friday Night SmackDown. I'm going to keep this.
SmackDown.
That's right. I'm going to keep it short and sweet. We got my 3 key things that happened in SmackDown on Friday. The first thing, and I have to mention it as the first thing, the Usos back together.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I
like it.
I
Two things about this.
love it.
Me too.
I
They're
was
best together.
I marked out. I didn't sit down. I was standing. And I marked out hard for this. And not only that, but before the match, Montez Ford and D'Angelo Dawkins and their whole thing, they're talking on the mic with the Usos going. Their exchanging was awesome.
It was very, very good.
It was
Very good.
Yeah, like they. Yeah. I mean,
the banter
Street
was
Profits
good.
They had some good. They got some mic skills. And
yeah,
then
yeah.
And then the Usos come out there and like best recognize. You know who we are.
Yeah, right. This is our gig.
It's like don't even play. So
right.
they end up having their match. Their match was against the Street Profits. It was their first match together since Jimmy got injured. So he's been out a year. It's just their first tag team match together.
Somebody got hurt, or since somebody went to jail,
Jimmy got hurt.
I never been before that or something.
It was a long match. I think it went across like 3 segments. First match. Long. And but it was good, and I watched it the whole thing without looking at my phone, and so it's a plus for WWE these days.
Yes, it is. Especially
that's my measuring stick right now for wrestling matches. If I put my phone down,
am I reading a book while I watch?
So no. Anyway, the Usos won their first match back together, and not only that, later on in the night, they cleared it through Adam Pearce. Next week, they will be facing the Mysterios for the tag team championships.
Thank God.
After only being back a week, which is cool.
The belts off the Mysterios.
Go ahead and make them the 8-time.
Get the Mysterios off my TV.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah, exactly.
It's so sad.
Reboot.
We will be talking about the Mysterios though. So next up we had Kevin Owens fight defeating Apollo. But this was because Aziz hit him with a Nigerian. So he hits him with this Nigerian. Now, KO is laying down, right? Commander Aziz comes through the ropes and just like right in the neck, like as he's laying down. And dude, Kevin Owens sold this for the rest of the show.
He did. He absolutely did.
Oh my God, he did. Oh yeah.
He's like rolling around, flailing.
He didn't cut a Twitter video of him still selling it like it was
come on,
over the top.
Flopping all over the place.
Like he really sold this to the max.
Yeah.
They go backstage to the training room, and he's still selling it. And basically,
I'm glad y'all around this too, because I was laughing watching this. Man.
He's like, even when he first started selling it during the match, I was just like,
That's why he's the best.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Or we're talking about it, aren't we? So
I love it, man. I love it.
I did too.
Exactly. It caught everybody's radar for sure. Anyway, back in the trainer's room, it was decided he will face off against Apollo again for that Intercontinental Championship, and Commander Aziz is banned from ringside.
Wah, wah.
Yeah, that was inevitable.
Yeah,
I'm very bored with Apollo Crews as the IC champ. I think he's doing a very bad job with that belt.
It's just not that exciting.
He's trying to be IC champ, and he's trying to get this new heel gimmick over. And it's a lot. So I'm going to sidestep and see what happens. I love this Commander Z theme because I love that daggum thumb.
That's fine. They could go and they can Umaga everybody they want.
Yes. Yeah.
So just without a title on the line.
Yeah,
without the IC. Go on like a kill streak, right? But just don't have it worth anything to me.
Right. It falls in line with like Psycho to me. Like it's it's funny, but yeah. All right.
So
amazing.
People in matches are going to be like thumb.
At the end, to end the show off, we had the Mysterios. Mysterios in the main event versus the Dirty Dogs.
The Dirty Dogs. The Dirty Bird Dogs.
Dolph Ziggler.
Nice.
Ziggler. Basically, before the match starts, you have Unknown, who we don't know, took out Rey Mysterio backstage. And, Dominic comes, I got you, Props. I'll go out there and I'll do it. I'll do it, do it for you, Dad. So he goes out there and he takes on two of the best wrestlers in the industry today.
Right.
Dominic Mysterio.
Two of the most athletic wrestlers, especially Dolph Ziggler. Like, by himself. Dolph Ziggler, Dominic Mysterio does this by himself. But he wins because at the end, Ray hobbles out there. You hear a booyaka booyaka, and there comes Rey Mysterio. He's hobbling, and then
his 619 is garbage.
Schoolboy,
the devastating Schoolboy. Telling you, it's
Dominic is able to win because they're distracted, but that leads to the Dirty Dogs immediately being forgot about because the Usos hit their music, come out, stare down with the Mysterios. Count your days, Mysterios. I can't wait till the Usos take those belts off of you and, I don't know, do something with Dominic.
I want to see like a Rockers style breakup and feud with the Mysterios. I just want to see...
Ray's going to kick him through a glass window?
Like they're going to bring back the barbershop. And Ray is going to kick...
Sean can be the host.
No, I got the book on this one, boys. I got the book. Ray's going to come back with the papers from the old Eddie gimmick from the days that he really wasn't his son.
He's going to be like, on second thought.
I just wanted to win the ladder match.
Oh, yeah, I just want to win the match. But by the way, I'm not your dad.
He really was your poppy.
He really was your poppy. I can't have a storyline. I can't have a storyline. I'm not your dad. Get out of here.
Yeah, no.
Oh, man.
Dominic without a father. No one wants him.
He's like, you're as much of my kid as Jason Jordan is Kurt Angle's kid. So that is Friday Night SmackDown wrapped up in a nutshell. It had its moments. The Usos was the big story of the entire night, basically.
Yep. All right, AJ, so we're going to talk right here real quick. They had a really quick little hype show, what was about 30 minutes before Double or Nothing started. But I want to say, too, real quick, when we cover pay-per-views, same as we always have, we're going to cover these things from top to bottom. The pay-per-views are the big moves in wrestling, and we don't want to miss any of those. So the coverage of the pay-per-views will always stay the same. And, without a doubt, do not worry. When SummerSlam comes around, I'm taking that trophy back from Primo, so don't worry about that at all, folks.
See,
you guys at home will never have to hear him say that ever again.
See, I have the quiet confidence. I don't need to talk about it because I just know that. Yeah, sure, Dirty. It's going back to your house or staying with Primo. One of those.
All right, so just wanted to get that over.
I've glued it to this table now, so
you just picked it up.
It's not glued.
You need new glue.
You got robbed.
Your glue is not working.
All right, so what happened on that quick little pre-show? Anything?
The weigh-in, remember?
No, that was Friday. They had a quick little.
Oh, the pre-show. Oh, yeah.
Pre-show Saturday.
Their version of a kickoff.
Yeah.
One thing.
Yeah, I was saying
I want to talk about was the match of the night. I think that we all will be saying that was match of the night. That was match of the night. So far, this is match of the night. First of all, fans. There were fans. There were 5,000 fans. It sounded like 50,000 fans.
Man.
Oh, it was so good.
Oh, it was great, man. Yeah, it was awesome. I loved watching the wrestlers come out to fans, too. They were jacked, man.
Yep.
And I could feel it, man.
Every single one was jazzed up. Every time you come out, if they come through the tunnel, they're just like, they take a second.
Yep.
They did. Yep. My favorite was probably Hangman's. Hangman took it in, man. I loved it. It was great.
Hangman and Eddie Kingston both took it
Yep.
all in.
Yep.
So on the pre-show, the only thing
we're back, baby.
Is the women's NWA champ Serena Deeb took on Riho, and it was a fantastic match. Obviously, Serena Deeb retained because she was going to. Quick little match, popped the crowd, got everyone going, and it was great. And then basically off to the races after that.
Yeah, man, off to the races. Awesome pay-per-view. We're going to go over it from top to bottom. AJ's going to bring every match to us. So, all right, so AEW Double or Nothing was this past it was Sunday. Sunday. Double or Nothing number 2. They had Double or Nothing Chicago last year to kind of kick it off the whole AEW thing. So a year later, we're back and fans are back.
Moxley, DDT, Omega on the chips.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was.
Yep. All right, so AJ, Double or Nothing, man. Let's run this card down.
So kickoff: Brian Cage versus Hangman Adam Page.
The Machine Cage.
So this was the match of the night. Up to this point.
Liar.
So
up to that point.
Up to this point. So they both tried each other's finishers. Like, that was one of my favorite things that happened all night. I don't know why. I just loved it. But yeah, they tried each other's finishers, and obviously, eventually, Hangman got the win with the buckshot lariat.
Yeah.
But interestingly enough, after the match, Team Taz, who I can't be bothered with, confronted Brian Cage, and it looks like Brian Cage might be done with Team
How
Taz.
do you feel about Taz?
Yeah, we don't really know.
I didn't come up with something that he looked like this week.
A potato?
White Bear, watch it. He might listen to us eventually.
But what kind of potato is the important part?
A russet?
Name another kind of potato besides.
I was gonna say baked.
Golden, stuffed, twice baked, twice stuffed.
Okay.
I'm not cutting on Taz. I love Taz.
No, I like Taz. I really do.
I like Taz as an ECW
suplex machine.
I've listened to
his
show also. He's hilarious.
Yeah.
I just like
first time, long time.
Poor Taz. He used to be so good, and now he's a potato.
So what kind of potato, AJ?
Yeah, spit it out for God's sakes.
A sour cream and chive twice-baked potato.
So he is twice-baked.
That makes sense.
Yeah, have you seen him?
I can't believe we were so close to guessing that.
Where's the sour cream?
Does he have any cheese? Do you have cheese on?
Anyway,
am I imagining something? I don't remember. Am I remembering this correctly? Was he wearing armor when he came out?
Yeah, oh yeah, it was like an aluminum foil, amazing armor kind of deal.
Like he bought it from the Halloween spirit store.
Yes, he went to one of those places that's only open for a month.
Yeah,
I was like, give me your
Yeah.
It was like metal across the chest and the shoulder, and then the mask, right?
The one that's in like an old Target building or something,
Yes.
like an old
Kmart.
Like a Kmart,
a part of the mall.
Where he does his shopping.
Yeah, at the
That's
Halloween.
Team Taz kicked him out. They're like, "You're no
oil outfits are us."
The Team Taz was like, "You're not a Russian Destiny doll or a potato. Get out of here." Although he looked like he was wrapped in tinfoil, so he could have been a pre-baked potato before it's finished. I don't know.
All right, we're off the rails here. First, we're still on the first match, right?
Yes, we are.
Let's go.
Okay, up next is one of the matches of the night. John Moxley and Eddie Kingston.
Baked potato talk.
Wow, dang.
Versus, I love it. I love it.
The smile thing, man. Yeah. You think they got copyrights for that? I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, that's I mean,
paying for it.
Oh yeah.
Love it.
That's cool. Though.
So so Eddie Kingston in this match, he's the worst worker in the match, and yet he was the star of this match because the crowd loved him so much.
Yeah,
so much.
Yeah, he's one of those guys I think is going to benefit from the quarantine because he kind of blew up, and now people are going to come to the shows and cheer for him. Yep.
So there was this fantastic sequence where Moxley just gets kicked in the face over and over again and just no sells. Like it is great. He just like he's asking for more super kicks to the face, which is just amazing.
Sir, please, can I have another?
Yes, that's how it was. Like Oliver Twist of getting kicked in the face.
Yep.
And only Moxley could, I feel like, right now could get away with it. Oh, maybe Sting too, but we'll get to that later. So yeah, Bucks retain, hit the BTE. To the surprise of no one, but wow, was it a fantastic match?
Yep. Super kick party.
How does one get invited to a super kick party?
We talked about it.
We did talk about this. Yeah.
Yes, we did.
I don't know if we have to revisit that one.
Yeah, that's how we ended up with Beetlejuice. That's how these talks happen.
Episode 11, everybody. You go back there.
Go check it out.
Now, Spotify, Google Podcast.
Now that we piqued your curiosity.
Right.
Yes. Next week, we're going to be like, you want to know what we think about baked potatoes and other forms of potatoes?
Yeah, episode 12.
It's on Spotify right now. Excuse me. So up next, we have the Casino Battle Royale, which they streamlined, and they did a much better job of it this time than they did the last time out.
Same, definitely.
And it's your pretty standard Battle Royale fare. But there were one huge surprise. One, hey, that's kind of a neat surprise. One, Leo Rush comes out as the Joker, which everyone was like, who's it going to be?
Yep.
Man of the hour.
That was my impression of everyone this time. That's what they were doing when talking about the Joker. And then the big surprise of the night, everyone thought Christian Cage was going to win it and go on to face Omega. Nope. Who won, Derek?
Christian Cage.
And Jungle Boy wins the Casino Battle Royale, going on to face Kenny Omega for the AEW World Championship. Jungle Boy versus Kenny Omega. Don't know how I feel about that right now.
Wrestler Spotlight, not long ago. What did I say?
Episode 4.
Going back, yep. Yeah, but I said he just looks like the part, man. He could, like I said, a small, slow burn all the way to the title. He could have a shot at it. This is what I think is going to happen. He's going to take Omega to his limits, probably. This is going to be a big showcase for him.
They're going to shine him up real good. Yeah.
They're going to shine him up real good. We're going to say he was that close to being world champion. Oh, he's going to have another shot again one day, and then they're just going to start to climb again. So
take it all the way back down.
Oh man, yeah.
About that match, the Casino Battle Royale. The one thing that really sticks out to me is every time JR is just like, what suit are we going to have next? He just kept talking about this. The next suit. And then Shivani's like, it's the gloves are next.
Yeah. Stop it, JR. Stop.
Skivone.
Skivone.
Tony Skivone. Love Tony Schiavone.
Me too.
So, up next, I'm going to give out about Cody Rhodes. I know how much we were praising Cody Rhodes before. Now I'm not going to praise him. Cody Rhodes
me neither. Me neither.
Anthony Ogogo.
Yeah, I don't like his finish. It's just me, though.
I didn't like this match. Why is Cody Rhodes going over your new guy who's just been battering everyone to the point where he's causing them internal bleeding, and then Cody Rhodes like, oh, I'm going to win, and not even with my finisher. I'm just going to win.
I felt like this needed to be a DQ. This needed to be a schmoz finish. Neither guy needed to lose yet.
No.
We weren't there. We're still in the storyline. Let's build this up for a while.
And plus,
Cody didn't need to go over yet.
No, and Cody took, 3 biscuit case punches? Like, why?
3 biscuits to the basket.
Yes, 3 biscuit baskets. He took, and look, they made that move to be devastating, and then Cody Rhodes all of a sudden is like, give me more biscuit baskets.
That's gonna be my new emote. I'm making a biscuit next time because we're talking about bread baskets and biscuits, and then AJ straight out of your mama's kitchen, so we got to get a biscuit. The biscuit basket AJ on it.
It's all food related today for some reason. Potatoes and biscuit baskets.
You didn't eat dinner.
No, I didn't. I'm very hungry.
Did you like his revolutionary outfit?
So the super patriotic garb,
stars and stripes on his boots, and
never really did it for me.
The big overcoat with the
It's like, we get it. You like America. Everyone likes America.
Yeah, that's his gimmick. That's his theme. It was Memorial Day weekend. The American Dream. Cody Rhodes.
I'm not gonna lie, I did like it. So I actually really liked the outfit.
It's very wrestling to me.
It was very wrestling.
It was very like a character. It was like America Man.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Like Captain Hollywood or something.
He looked like, I don't know if you guys have ever seen The Boys on
Absolutely.
Amazon.
Yes.
He looked like what's his name? The main bad guy.
Oh, yeah.
Captain America Pants or whatever.
No, I know who you're talking about, and right now it's slipping my mind, but yeah, you're right.
I'm looking up Captain America Pants while we go.
Captain America Pants makes me think of that guy from Napoleon Dynamite that had the pants on.
Uncle Rico?
No, not Uncle Rico. He was
Diedrich Bader, the karate.
From
yes,
yeah. All right.
So that was. Unless you guys have something else you want to talk about with Cody Rhodes and Anthony Ogogo. Did not like this match. This was not match of the
week. There'll probably be some kind of. They're going to beat down Cody now for a month, probably.
Yeah, like I said, I was talking to Dirty about this. I didn't actually put my phone down in this pay-per-view until probably the next match.
Really?
Whichever one. Whenever you get to it, I'll let you know.
So up next, we have Miro versus Lance Archer.
Never mind.
I think I know which match you did put your phone down on, but we'll get there. So Miro versus Lance Archer, match of the night, obviously. So Jake the Snake has a bag that is supposed to have...
That's the best part of the match.
I laughed so hard. So it's, obviously supposed to be, not Damien, but we're going to go with Damien. Snake's name was Damien.
Yeah.
And,
Damien 100.
Yes. And Miro, like he's supposed to be all scared of it and stuff, he picks up the bag and just hucks it.
Absolutely.
Just hucks it
chunks
up the ramp.
Right.
And it was fantastic.
Drops hard.
After the pay-per-view, he actually tweeted, he's like, PETA, come get me, I don't even care.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Like he was playing up like it was an actual snake in the back.
Yeah.
When really it was just like a tube of hamburger.
Right, yeah. It's probably a pool noodle or something in there.
Those are quite realistic fake snakes.
Yes, they are. I hate them.
So, yeah, that was
a
fantastic spot.
So Miro won, right?
Oh, yeah. Miro made Lance Archer pass out. He didn't even tap out. He passed out. It was Miro being awesome throughout this entire match.
I will say, I think I texted you guys this, that it's like, I know it wasn't because the belt was made before he was even in the company. but that belt around his waist just looks like it was made for him.
Yes, I agree. Like after you sent that, I was like, yes, I concur with that assessment.
Yeah, I agree too. And then I want to say too, another thing is follow Mutterhawk on Twitter. He tweeted out, what was it? Remake, remodel, basically like, rebuild, come back, reclaim. He's going to come back stronger than ever kind of deal. So, yeah, so we'll see what happens there with that. So, but that was good on like that. Lance did. He can come back and say, "I didn't lose. I passed out.
Yeah, I passed out.
Out. Come back without Jake.
Yeah.
Yes, no Jake.
Yeah,
but I love Jake.
I do too. But I'm good on that.
So up next is for the AEW Women's Championship, and it's Shida versus Dr. Britt Baker.
DMD.
Yes, and
this is the fun put down match.
Yeah, it was like this was not match of the night, and like I was really looking forward to this match. Like you guys have sold me on Britt Baker. Obviously, go back to episode 9. I wasn't sold on Britt Baker. Available on Spotify, episode 9. But I came around to it. Like I'm on board with Britt Baker, but this just it should have been more, and it just wasn't. Like Britt Baker beats Shida for the championship, and I was just like,
I would say it had me hooked in. Like I said, it was the one that made me put down my phone. So it was for me from this moment on in the show, the rest of the pay-per-view, I was locked in.
Yep.
So this is the one match in the middle of the pay-per-view that pulled me in.
Took it up a notch.
Yeah. So, and I agree with you though about it was a great match to me, but at the same time, I do agree that she was champion for over a year, and that was over a year with no fans. And her first night, she gets to be in front of fans. She loses.
She loses, yeah.
And not only that, but the day after they give her the big championship, it goes right to Britt.
It goes right to Britt Baker.
It goes right to Britt. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I did hear that they were going to let Shida keep that one.
Oh, I read the old one. Oh, that's a nice little souvenir for her.
Yeah, because she carried it basically through the whole quarantine and that kind of stuff. So yeah. So I thought about that too. And they made this. I love wrestling. This is like it can be so crude, but she was out there. This is. But I'm in front of you now. I wasn't able to be in front of you when I won, and and then so much.
Then you lose.
Yeah,
I just felt she deserved. Like Shida deserved more than. I mean, I'm not saying it's a bad thing that Britt Baker won, but let Britt Baker win at the next pay-per-view. Like,
yeah, I mean, we all knew it was going to happen.
Yeah, but still,
slow burn it. Fans are back. Slow burn it a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, let Shida have her moment in front of the fans, and not just immediately give it to.
And and another thing is too, Britt's supposed to be a heel.
She's getting cheered.
She
exactly.
Cheered.
Yeah.
Tony Schiavone gave her a hug after.
He gave her a big hug after the match. He stood up like Excalibur's like, Schiavone, where are you going?
Right, yeah.
Go hug Dr. Britt Baker.
With my earrings.
That's good stuff.
Oh, okay. So, up next, match of the night.
For real or no?
No.
Oh, okay.
But I will say, up till this point, it was match of the night for me. Sting and Darby Allin versus Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page. And for cuss words, this was not what I expected. I expected Sting to be in a t-shirt with his old man flab all, tucked away and safe. And Darby Allin to do basically everything. Sting comes in maybe for a Scorpio death drop. Nope.
Yep.
That was not it. Sting looked like Sting from 25 years ago. Like Sting looked like the Sting that Scorpio Sky was like, you're not the same man anymore.
Schiavone yelling, Splash.
He was more than the fans were.
Yeah.
It's Sting!
It was It was unbelievable. Like, he looked great. He looked fit. Like, he looked in shape. He didn't look 62.
Yeah.
He was doing stinger splashes and just jumping all over the place. He looked fantastic.
Yeah.
It's his first matches in over 5 years. And if there was any kind of old man ring rust, you couldn't see it. Like, I was so scared for this match, and it was just great.
And
it was great.
And Darby really sold the getting the tar beat out of him, basically.
Yes, he did.
Definitely.
And
Definitely.
Sting, who has the best no-sell in the business, pulled a no-sell on Scorpio Sky. Like, I love that spot so much. And Sting got the win. He got the pin. Hit the Scorpio.
Yeah, how about it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Loved it. Loved everything.
Yay, Sting won on a pay-per-view. Woo!
For the first time in since the TNA days.
So I've heard Matt say this twice, and they go, "It's Sting's first match in 6 years." Really? They say it just like that. And I'm just like,
know,
6 years.
Yeah.
Like, wait, that was 6 years ago.
Like, wow, he looks great.
When Seth Rollins
when he did that thing with
that other company, 6 years, really. So, up next, the actual match of the night, match of the year up to this point. Best triple threat match I have ever seen. Kenny Omega versus Pac versus Orange Cassidy. Unbelievable. I was expecting good things from this match, and it more than delivered. I was such a fan. I was standing up the entire time. So it was
good.
It was unbelievable. Like,
yeah, it really was.
So at one point, this was my favorite spot of the night, where Pac had the brutalizer locked in on Orange Cassidy, and Omega just starts beating Pac to try and get him to break it, and Pac was like, "No, I'm keeping this in." So Omega hits the ref instead. I was like, that is perfect heel heat right there. I can't break up the spot, so I'm just gonna beat the crap out of the ref in order to keep myself from losing the belt. I loved it so much, and then he uses all of his belts as weapons. Omega uses every belt that he has.
Right, he has a lot of them.
And at one point, I honestly thought that Orange Cassidy was going to win, and that's when I was like up on because I was watching it on my computer, but I was like up like this close to the screen, and I thought Orange Cassidy was going to win.
It's like Orange Punch on everybody or whatever.
Yes,
I watched it after the fact, and I was like, man, if I'd watched this live, I would have thought the same thing, man. I was like, it had you believing for a minute.
Yeah.
How about the spot where they're doing the bridge and they're getting ready to raise up in the bridge and Pac jumps off on top of him? Jeez, Orange got squeezed. He got squished in there.
He got squeezed.
Squeeze.
Squeeze.
I mean, it turned out and they went for a long time too. This should have been the main event, by the way. It ended up Omega
co-main event.
Co-main event, yeah.
Means no main event. But Omega ends up hitting the one-winged angel on Orange Cassidy for the. I love that move. It's such a long setup though. There's 8 different steps to get into that position.
Yeah, you gotta get him up, and then he spins him around, and then he's gotta grab him. All the while they're up there going.
Yeah, in their fatality and
flopping like a fish, and then right before he goes to grab, they all of a sudden come down. It is a cool finisher though, but
it really is. It looks cool and a cool name. Angel.
I like the V trigger into the one winged angel. That's the sequence I like.
Yeah,
one winged angel, boom. Yeah, awesome.
Match was fantastic though. I highly recommend. I recommend the pay-per-view overall, but if anyone wants to pick one match from this show, go watch this match. It was unbelievable.
Yep, I agree.
So up next is the main event. Stadium Stampede.
Stadium Stampede!
Number 2. This is number 2. And so what
do you like better, the first one or the second one?
I honestly liked the first one was funnier.
Because it was new. They were ad-libbing with the situation of quarantine and everything.
I like this one because of the stakes.
Yep.
Right, yeah. There's a lot on the line.
Going for it. And there were still some funny spots in it, when they were drinking at the bar before.
That was good.
Yeah.
And Conan, that was great. Yeah.
Conan's DJ, yeah. I love the paint on the Santana and Ortiz. shot.
I saw Conan. I was like, oh, 5150. Yeah,
yeah. Orale!
Yeah, I was like, orale! Yeah, because Conan, and I was like, oh, wait, I wonder if Tully Blanche is going to do something in Conan, and sure enough.
Yep.
How about the old school horseman style T-shirts they were wearing, and with the sides cut off?
The sides cut off.
Yeah, just a little bit of side man boob out. Yeah.
Tully looks like he's about to be in a match with Terry Funk.
Yeah.
With like circus pants on and retirement.
How about them rappelling from
and a cow iron?
Yeah, rappelling from the scoreboard.
Yeah, that was cool. Neat.
Besides the fact that it was kind of slow, it was cool.
Yeah.
So I did have one problem with this match, and this is why I don't think it should have been the main event. Is it was like 45 minutes long, something like half an hour long, something like that. Only the last 10 minutes were live. Everything else was pre-taped. The only part that was live was when Sammy Guevara and Sean Spears came into the ring. Everything else was pre-taped. That's why I don't think it should have been the main event.
So the part where MJF and Jericho are in the crowd?
No, that
was right before that.
Yeah, that was, obviously.
Okay, so all that part was live, okay.
Yeah.
So okay.
But all the rest of the stuff was pre-taped.
Yep. And
so the end of the match, we can talk about the spots all night actually, because Stampede.
Yeah, all kind of stuff going on.
But the end of the match, Sammy Guevara gets the win back for the Inner Circle.
Yeah, it's some redemption for Sammy.
Because he's the one who gave up at Blood and Guts, and he pins Sean Spears. 1, 2, 3. Inner Circle does not have to break up.
Love the storytelling. Great storytelling.
How about that? Sean Spears handcuffs him. He leaves, and then Sammy's looks down. There's freaking the bolt cutters right there.
Yeah, the bolt cutters are right there.
Right. Yeah, that's good stuff.
Hilarious.
Wardlow and Hunter just beating the snot out of each other.
Just throwing absolute potatoes.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, there's another potato reference. Yeah, they were throwing stiff shots, man. Yeah, but that was a good pay-per-view, man. I liked it. I thought it was interesting. And forwarded storylines. We're not done with the Pinnacle, and this is just a chapter. So
I gotta say, it's probably one of the best pay-per-views I've seen in a while.
Yep, me too. It's certainly my favorite pay-per-view that I've seen in a while.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, I think it was one of the best.
Easily this year.
Oh yeah, by far.
Probably the past year.
It did have a distinct lack of Nia Jax and zombies, but it made up for that with good in-ring action.
You know what else has a distinct lack of Nia Jax? My notes. I left her out.
Yeah. Well said.
So overall, that's it. The show ends. Well, show ends. Inner Circle's flipping the bird. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And then
like their signature sign off now.
So they made another little.
I need that shirt.
Yep. Mark Henry will be joining the announcement team for their new show Rampage, which starts. When does
Friday.
That start? That starts this Friday.
It's going to be a YouTube show, right?
Friday. I'm not sure which Friday.
I think it's the same as Dark. I think it's going to be a YouTube.
YouTube
exclusive, which is fine with me. I like watching Dark on YouTube.
Yeah.
So, big 2 stinky thumbs up for AEW Double or Nothing.
Absolutely. All right, I agree here. Moving on. All right, Primo, Memorial Day Raw this past Monday and NXT on Tuesday. What happened on those 2 shows here? And then we will get to the rest of the show here. Top 5 wrestling cities and all that. So,
let's go. Monday Night Raw, Memorial Day, Monday Night Raw. Here we go. So we're going to talk about these. So I have another 3 things here. Let's talk about. I actually put this on my notes because it's last week I was dogging it. Reggie and Shayna. But they made it to one of the 3 key moments of the show.
How? I guess that
So here's the deal.
Spare pick.
Reggie and Shayna, obviously last week they closed out Monday Night Raw. This week, it was so bad he had to leave.
I want to leave because it was
so. But anyway, so this week, Reggie and Shayna actually have their match that Shayna challenged him to. Shayna's working his legs the whole time, trying to keep him grounded, doing all the submission stuff. But there's another pyro distraction straight from the corner, right? Okay. So, Reggie ends up defeating Shayna Baszler due to this distraction. And later on in the night, he's invited to Alexa's playground to talk about his victory. And so they're talking, and in the meantime, he's kind of creeped out by Lily, the doll. But before he can say anything, Shayna interrupts and starts wailing on Reggie, puts him out. And after she does that, she tells Alexa that they need to have a chat before this gets out of hand, and she's going to see her next week. Mm-hmm. But my question about all this...
Yes.
Is Alexa behind Reggie's pyro incidents?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. That's the only guess.
With her doll powers. That's what I'm going to refer to them as, because I don't know what else. She has doll powers now.
Lily doesn't like you.
Exactly.
And I like how Shayna gets down face to face with the doll.
Talking to the doll. She was addressing the doll.
She told Reggie, she said, "Don't worry, we won't bite." And then I'm thinking, literally at the end of every Alexa's playground is the doll doing the little bite thing. The
little chomp thing.
So, next point. So I just wanted to talk about that and talk about how they're leading in with Alexa being behind it all. Uh-huh. And I left out the other partner there for you. Yes, so anyway, moving on to the hottest thing going on Monday Night Raw right now. RK Bro, I had to talk about it.
Oh, it's my
favorite thing on Raw.
I'm glad.
This was the best thing on Raw Monday night.
It is. It's my favorite thing.
I have a confession. This is the only thing on Raw that I didn't skip to the end.
This is what I look forward to every Monday now.
I watched all of
it. Matt's facial expressions are crushing me, dude.
Amazing. He's amazing.
I love it when he gets all excited about Randy saying something. He's like...
So let's start off here. We all wondered how Randy was going to feel about Matt using the RKO last week, and he starts off. He's Randy. I'm so sorry, bro. I got so excited. It was the heat in the moment. And he's like, "Look, man. I actually was watching. I'm impressed. I am impressed by that, and I approve of you using the move in the match last week. And in fact, I want to invite you to come down to the ring." Watch me. Take some notes, kid. Watch me ringside. Which he gets all hyped up, Matt Riddle does. And he's like, makes him zip his mouth. And then he holds like a dad. He holds his hand out, makes him put the key in his hand, the fake key. And then he looks at the key. He shows it to him, puts it in his face, and throws it behind him. And the best thing was when Randy goes off camera, Matt's behind him, looking for the key.
Yeah. Right. That's amazing.
So then I love they're pure comedy gold. Those two.
Yeah, it's so good.
So then they come out to the ring, and you got Randy and you got Matt Riddle. Just everything Randy does, up to the pose. Matt's just in awe the whole time. He's like, can you believe it's like his big brother? He's like singing his entrance theme to him. By the way, little side note. Actually, I'll get to that at the end. But he has the match. A great match. Xavier Woods. We like watching Xavier Woods.
Yep.
They had a good match. It's Randy Orton. It's Xavier Woods. At the end of the match, when you think it's about time for Randy to go for that RKO, he gets him in the Bro Derek position, turns, gives Matt a little wink and a smirk, and then hits him with the Bro Derek. 1, 2, 3. And, of course, Matt Riddle marks out hard for that. And,
I did, too, to be honest.
And Matt Riddle gets down, he goes to pose, and then Randy gets behind him, and he starts to, and he goes, not yet.
He almost,
yeah. So we're almost there with Bro KO.
Yep, getting there.
Randy Orton's really playing it slow, which is cool. I like it. It's funny. I love it. The only note I wanted to point out here was Randy Orton kind of looks like a Three Musketeer with the mustache and goatee.
Yes, he does.
He's out there looking like D'Artagnan.
Yes. He's got like the rogue kind of with the little thing,
like he's going out with the mustache goatee. Yeah.
Like, so, looks like a swashbuckler.
Right. Like, what's he doing? Either full beard or no beard, Randy. What
I know. Don't do the gentleman's.
Go in or all in or all out.
It's like when you did 2009 Skinhead, Randy. Don't ever do that again.
Yeah, no.
So that was the Bro KO storyline of the night. Basically, we're ending it with knowing that, warm and fuzzies, that Bro KO is alive and Randy Orton is meshing with it. So maybe next week.
The best thing in wrestling right now.
Yeah. Yep. Maybe next week we'll get the pose together. Eventually, they are going to go for them tag championships. They are.
Oh yeah, they're getting the belts.
Not
main event.
Enough.
We had Drew McIntyre versus Kofi Kingston in a number one contender match to see who moves on to face the almighty Bobby Lashley at Hell in a Cell.
Yeah. What happened once again? So we're going to have to see Lashley and Drew once again.
Exactly.
Again.
And like I've said many times, as we all agree, we like Drew.
Yep.
Drew. Just give me a little scenery, change of scenery.
Yeah, put the belt back on him or move on somebody.
I wouldn't have minded, even if I love Kofi and Xavier Woods. By the way, shout out, sweet outfits on Monday Night Raw.
They got some new ones, don't they? Yeah,
I was a freaking Power Ranger fanatic when I was a kid. White Ranger and Green Ranger is what they had going. For those who are curious.
I knew it was Power Ranger, but
I was hyped. Anyway, Drew McIntyre wins and is clean. And
at this point, at this point, I don't want Drew to beat Bobby because then we'll have to watch them fight again for another 2 months. So.
For another 3.
So this time, let's do this. Let's say this time, when Bobby Lashley wins at Hell in a Cell and finally just solidifies that he's the one, who on the Raw roster is next?
Finn Balor.
You think he's coming back up?
I'm calling it. I mean, they don't want him to go on NXT. Like, the writers of NXT are like, please don't take Finn from us. But they want him so badly on Raw right now. I can only imagine.
They need him.
They do.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Either that or send Seth back to Raw. I mean, come on.
Because who else is it going to be besides Drew McIntyre on?
I didn't even write that in here, but let us not forget that Humberto Carrillo broke Sheamus's nose.
Just smashed his nose.
Oh yeah.
Sheamus doesn't have a nose anymore.
He was dripping blood all over the arena.
yeah, he was. It pours like a fountain.
His nose is just flat and crooked, and I'm just like, no, that's broken, bro. Like,
that's broken. I bet he ran. I bet once they got back, he ran like crazy from Sheamus.
He's probably like, good shot, brother.
So I didn't watch this show live. I watched it after the fact. Did they go to black and white in the show? Okay, because they did in the
And Sheamus is so pale, it was very red. So
see, I didn't see that. It went to black and white, and I'm like, oh, so
did you do that on Hulu?
Yeah. No, it did it on YouTube, which is where I watched it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, it
was weird. It's like WWE turned it black and white, so the kiddies wouldn't know that people bleed when
they do that on the network too.
Yes, which I don't understand.
So that's Raw in a nutshell. Let's move on to NXT, which was last night. We had 3 cool matches here. The least exciting one was Kushida had an open challenge match for the Cruiserweight Championship. We had the debut of Carmelo Hayes, which is he was actually repackaged into Carmelo Hayes. Answers the challenge. Kushida retains after a long match. It was a good match, but it was a long match. I knew he wasn't going to lose it. Yeah. He lost. He won by submission after an impressive, but it was an impressive showing by Carmelo Hayes. I won't let that go. I also quickly want to note that at NXT Takeover in Your House, it will be Cameron Grimes versus LA Knight. So they are going one-on-one.
LA Knight. Yep.
Let me talk to you.
Let me talk to you.
LA Knight thinks that he's The Rock. He has the same like cadence and delivery as The Rock.
He does. Yeah.
Every time I see him on that show that he was on with The Rock. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was the reality show where it was like The Hero or something like. I don't remember what it was actually called.
Yep. Oh, yeah. It was something like that actually.
Yeah.
And it's got to be like copyright infringement the way he even did it in TNA when he was
Eli
Drake.
Yeah.
I mean, I like him. I mean, he's great.
He's a very good talker. He really.
But every time I see him, I'm like, I just remember him in that show.
Yeah.
And when he was just like telling The Rock he wants to be a professional wrestler, at the time he already was though. He was an indie wrestler at the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, moving on. So we had, to open up the show, actually, we had the triple threat number one contender match between Pete Dunne, Kyle O'Reilly, and Johnny Gargano, Johnny Wrestling. Great match. It was awesome.
It was. It really was.
Not only was it awesome, we didn't get a finish, just like any other number one contender match these days.
Nope,
no finish.
Who needs finish?
Because we got the return of Adam Cole, baby.
That's
right.
Baby.
Comes out and
Adam Cole's here.
He didn't just beat up on Kyle O'Reilly. He wasn't showing favoritism. He beat up everybody.
He did, which was very inclusive of him.
Exactly.
Right.
Such a nice Adam Cole.
It was just a gentlemanly thing to do.
Everybody can get it.
He didn't want to just just beat up on Kyle. Cool Kyle. So he lays out all three competitors, and he ends up being escorted out by security. So they ended up not being a defined winner of the triple threat match. And of course, William Regal is irate. And I also want to point out that up at the top, you can't see it, but I wrote a night of brawls. Up at the top.
Which is accurate.
Because it seemed like there were so many. Because immediately after this one, Ember Moon called out Raquel, and they had a brawl. But anyway, Adam Cole eventually does come back out to the ring, and he says that he's the true number one contender. He held that championship, I think he said 403 days, so the greatest NXT champion of all time. Then he cuts a good promo on Karrion Kross. Tells Karrion Kross that on his best day he couldn't lace up Adam Cole's boots,
right?
And that he's not, and that he's not special. He's just holding Adam Cole's property. Because Karrion Kross came out with the line. He said, and what's funny, he kind of made it real. He's like, why are you so upset? Is it because you're not special anymore? Because I'm here. He's like, no, we can talk about this out here. We don't have to go back there to talk about this. How you're not special anymore.
Yeah. I love that.
Right.
You're no longer special.
Basically, making it seem like Cole's like, he's the teacher's. He was the teacher's pet, but now he's like.
Yeah. Now no one cares because.
Yeah. Karrion screams main roster to me. Yeah. I can see him losing this 5-way match that they got coming up, not getting pinned, and then being moved up because I don't know, I don't even know what's going on right now with New Japan talk last week, the releases today. Who knows? So
speaking of that, he was, Karrion Kross he wants to be Rambo and fight everybody. So he immediately during this. Because Regal comes out because these guys are getting intense. And he tells Regal, he says, I want a match. I want to fight all of them. Because, he's super Karrion Kross and he wears gladiator skirts. So,
yes, he does.
Don't get me wrong. I like Karrion Kross. But I just, it's just like, I don't know if I've seen a champion in a while or a long time. Just being like, I want to fight everybody.
How tough did he look, though, coming out with the belt on, and with that, tank top? Like, he came to the ring. I'm like, man, he looks like a beast.
Yeah.
He looks like a champion.
So he says he wants to face all five of them, all four of them, and Regal grants it. So at NXT TakeOver in your house, it shall be a 5-way matchup between Kyle O'Reilly, Pete Dunne, Johnny Wrestling, Adam Cole, baby, and Karrion Kross. So.
How is that going to work?
Is it all at once, or is it
elimination?
It's first pinfall or submission.
Like, how are you going to do a first pinfall or submission with a five-way?
All right, so
That'd be cool if it was elimination style.
Yeah, if it was elimination, then I'm like, yeah.
So that pay-per-view, or not pay-per-view, whatever, In Your House is June 13th, which is a week from Sunday. So if they got stipulations, they're going to have to get to them. It's pretty quick.
Yeah, like real, like, chip, chop, chip.
Yep.
So we got main event time. Tag Team Championship match between MSK and Legado del Fantasma.
Time out. Have we answered the freaking question yet, boys?
I have actually looked this up.
Okay.
I took it upon myself to look it up because I tweeted you, Wesley. But you didn't.
I want to see them say it on TV. What it means.
You didn't answer me.
I should have to look it up.
We go back to Aviano, but anyway, moving on. You didn't answer me, so I had to look it up. They did an interview about this when they first signed on NXT, and they purposely did not tell anybody what it means.
And they still haven't? Because I've looked it up too, and
there's nothing. They literally won't say what it means.
So it's what they're going with, just MSK.
Yeah. So okay. Now that we know that,
good. I won't answer that question no more.
Yeah, like I said, I did the research, and that's what we got.
Yeah, if anybody out there in podcast world land listening to this knows or maybe has an insight on what MSK means, tweet one of us, Dirty Bird 33, Primo Silver Fox, AJ 1842, or Sit Down Marks. If you have guesses on what it is, wrong answers only, so to make it fun. But if you actually know or think you might know what it means, tweet us and let's find out. All right, go ahead.
So the main event was Tag Team Championship match between MSK and Legado del Fantasma. During the match, randomly, GYV and Ciampa and Thatcher.
Yeah. Explain.
Like, they randomly show up. So GYV comes out like they're gonna distract, but then Ciampa and Thatcher quickly intercept. They all get rushed backstage. And this happens in like 10 seconds.
Yeah.
And it never gets talked about.
Nope. Like, it wasn't planned, and they were like, okay, move on. Oh, God.
Yeah. Yep. Like, don't you dare interrupt this awesome match. So, however, during the match, Santos Escobar does interfere, but then he's up against the wall, and Bronson Reed just straight squishes this dude.
Right, yeah. Pancake. Flapjack.
He does. Pancakes him, for sure.
Yes, he does.
Boom.
Snot bubbles are showing. That's what my old football coach used to say in high school. Knock the snot bubbles out of him.
Yeah, hit him so hard the snot bubbles come out.
So, basically after this, he evened the odds. Bronson Reed did by coming out, and MSK ended up retaining their tag team championship with victory over Legado del Fantasma. That's how NXT ended. That's your WWE recap for the week. That's your all recap for the week, and recaps are done.
All right, now we can get to the rest of the show. Good job, boys.
Yeah.
Well done on the recap. So, all right, guys, so next up is Pick Primo's Brain. We're going to do this one more time, and then we're going to retire it for a while. I'm going to bring it back. But I'm going to bring it back as a revamped version because we're 12 episodes in now.
You've asked me a lot of questions.
Yeah,
I've asked him a lot of questions. I know a lot of about his Primo's wrestling knowledge now because we've been doing this for a while. So I'm figuring it out. So yeah. All right. So today's question is to both you boys here, and then we're going to go to the graphic, and we'll come right back.
Yep.
What was the very first pay-per-view that you bought with your own money, like at home? What was the very first one that you bought, like at home, like a big deal? You wanted to watch it. So think about that. We'll come right back. I'm going to go grab me another rowdy. Be right back. Actually, it used to be Pick Primo's Wrestling Brain, but I'm going to just pick my co-host's Wrestling Brain. All right, AJ, what was the first pay-per-view that you bought with your own money?
So I saved up my allowance and bought SummerSlam 1992 in Wembley Stadium because there was a big time delay since it was 8 hours ahead of us.
Right. Yep.
So I saved up my allowance and I was able to buy it, and I saw the British Bulldog beat Bret Hart in the main event to win the Intercontinental Championship in one of my favorite matches as a kid because I was such a British Bulldog fan. And he got to win, and it was a huge crowd pop, and because they were in England, and so that was the first one, SummerSlam 1992.
Turned out to be British Bulldog's biggest moment ever.
Yep, in his career.
What about you, Primo?
My allowance. And,
oh no.
SummerSlam 2002.
10 years later.
It was Rock and Rock.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's the one I saved up and bought. I still remember the double kip up with the Rock and Brock. Yep. Brock Lesnar, for all you marks that don't know what I'm talking about. Yeah. So man, I also ended up amassing from like my teenage years up until a few years ago when DVDs went out of style. I had a big DVD collection, and I would buy DVDs. I actually owned this one on DVD. I remember owning WrestleMania 20 on DVD as well, and it was like a double disc. So yeah.
Where was this? Let's see. I was in the Nassau Veterans Coliseum in New York. Yep, Nassau Coliseum. Nice. All right, good one, boys. So we're going to retire that. We'll bring it back later with a revamped version here, and we'll bring it back later on down the line. So, all right, today's main topic. Here you go. Discussion, our top 5 favorite wrestling cities. Now, these are the cities that we think are the top 5 best in wrestling as far as passionate fans, venues, history, things that happen there. You can even throw in there where some of the wrestlers are from. So
sentimental.
All right. Yep,
Sentimentality.
Yep, sentimentality. Yep, for sure. All right, so we're going to go from 5 to 1. Primo, I'm going to let you kick us off with your number 5 top wrestling city. Here we go.
Number 5 for me. So it's history has taken place here on several times. My favorite thing though about this place is the fact that whenever the WWE travels back here, the people that are from here speak to the fans how their language, like when Kevin Owens does, because it's Montreal, when they speak French, they're French Canadian. So when he starts talking to the crowd in French, I'm like, it's really cool, man.
Yeah.
To me. Also, Montreal screw job. So,
okay.
Montreal is my number 5.
I will say this: Montreal, not on my list.
Really?
Nope. I am dedicated to the United States of America. For my top 5,
man, so Dubai's not on there, right?
Spoiler alert! Inside the continental U.S. AJ, you want to go next?
So my number 5 is sticking with Canada for now.
Oh,
I've never actually seen a show take place in this. I know they take place all the time because it's a very famous city. But I picked it because of Stu Hart's Dungeon, Calgary, Alberta, Canada. That's where Bret Hart, Owen Hart, Roddy Piper, Tyson Kidd, Chris Benoit, Edge, Christian, Chris Jericho,
Davey Boy Smith,
and most importantly, Bad News Brown. All came out of
Bad News Brown.
You know who's not from there? The Calgary Kid.
Yeah, he's not from there.
He's from Muncie, Indiana.
He's from Winnipeg.
But so Calgary, Stampede Wrestling again.
That's
I've never
what
seen.
That's what Kishiyoko says. I'm from Winnipeg, you idiot.
Winnipeg, you idiot.
Oui, that's French. I know.
Okay.
So number 5 is Calgary for that reason, just because all of those.
We both went Canada on our number 5.
Yep, both went Canada, number 5. So Calgary, number 5.
You guys are communists.
Yes.
All right. So for me, number 5, this is a city that I started that I went to a lot growing up. This town was only about an hour and a half from me growing up. I saw legendary live shows there. I saw Steamboat and Flair wrestle there 1,000 times. I saw the Four Horsemen. This is the area that they kind of really started help making their name, with the exception of a few other cities. But this is my only North Carolina city on my list. Number 5 for me is Greensboro, North Carolina. Greensboro Coliseum. So many legendary matches happen there. Starrcade, Dusty Flair. Just tons of wrestling. Yes, it was basically just NWA, WCW area, WWF, WWE, whatever did end up running there sometimes. But, it was the hotbed city of NWA for me in the South. So Greensboro, number 5. Primo, number 4.
Number 4 for me. The crowd here is insane. Mm-hmm. They are a ruckus crowd, you could say. It's the home of ECW, Philadelphia.
Philadelphia.
My number 4.
ECW. Uh-oh.
So, I mean...
You know what happens, Primo?
It has to be on the list, The crowd there is crazy. They're passionate, not only for ECW, but even any venue that you see that's in Philly, you can just feel the intensity. They're really they have a large wrestling fan base there.
Yep, it's a fight town. Yep, definitely. AJ, do you have something similar at number 4?
Well, first I would like to say that the person that Cody Rhodes was dressed like in Double or Nothing was the Homelander from
That's right,
The Boys.
Homelander. Great show.
Lost me there.
My number 4 is Montreal, and in my notes, I take shorthand notes. I put Screwjob, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens speak French.
Nice.
So almost exactly what
we think a lot alike.
We really do.
Yeah.
So number 4 is Homelander is the name of the guy from The Boys that Cody Rhodes looked like. Montreal, number 4.
Okay, for me at number 4, this town, I'm gonna go ahead and throw it out there. New York City. It's the Mecca. It's Madison Square Garden. It's WWE. Tons of wrestling has happened there. New York's got to be on the list, man. A lot has happened there. It's Vince's. It's his area of running shop. He kind of has a little bill on Madison Square Garden there. So New York, number 4 for me. Primo, number 3.
3 for me. It's not going to be on any of your lists, and don't worry, AJ, I didn't steal it this time.
You don't know that.
This is my sentimental pick. My first ever Monday Night Raw, I went here, and that is at the Frank Urban Center in Austin, Texas. I love it. No, it's not.
Yeah, no,
it's not.
I love it. It's just my hometown location. It was the most local to me, and like I said, my first Monday Night Raw live event was there. It was great. So it's Austin, Texas.
That's cool.
Okay.
So my number 3 again.
As you see right behind me.
I'm just gonna read out my. John Cena. No, it's the Brahma Bull. Anyways, so I'm just gonna read out. Read out my shorthand. Because it's already been stated. Number 3, New York shorthand that I was going to expound upon, but I don't need to. MSG, where it started. So I'm just,
Yeah.
I don't need it because Dirty, you already took it. So
Yeah, you know,
Not much to say.
We are ruining AJ's list.
Oh wait,
A
it'll
lot
get
of-
worse. Hold
a
on.
lot of things have happened in New York, you know, subtly. You know, for me, one of the biggest as of late, you probably laugh, but when Cena came back at the Rumble years ago, like that was
I
huge,
loved it.
MSG. Although I never liked the Rumble there because it's a short entranceway
Yeah,
at the Garden.
the ramp is so small.
Yeah, and the camera is behind. Yeah, yep. All right, so for me at number 3, this is another big NWA territory. You know, by the way, I want to throw an honorable mention to Atlanta and Charlotte. You know, Southeast cities, big, you know, areas. You know, I don't think they were enough to make the top 5. But me, number 3, because it was such a big area for the Horsemen. This is where the Horsemen really started to get over and get themselves out there outside of the Carolinas. My number 3, Baltimore, Maryland.
Interesting.
Huge, was, you know, huge NWA area. You know, a lot of wrestlers, you know, from that area, big time wrestling town. For me, Baltimore. All right, so here we go. Top 2, Primo. Get us started.
I swear to God. No, go ahead.
Well, these top 2 are going. We could be similar here with us.
So, do you remember Money in the Bank 2011?
No, I don't.
Because in Chicago,
No, I don't remember it. Nothing
I knew
happened.
that I would say Chicago before you guys because it's probably higher on your list. But obviously, I'm actually going to leave it to you guys to speak about it more. But the crowd there is rowdy. They're passionate fans, and it's awesome. Go back and just you watch that pay-per-view. That it shows a great example as to why that's a great wrestling town or city.
Hey Jay, you got number 2.
So, number 2, we have, again, just going to read my shorthand, Philadelphia.
Same.
ECW, crazy marquee fans. I don't need to expound anymore because it's already been said.
Yeah.
Phillies, they probably have the most rabid fans. And, like, they're such polite word jerks, I guess. I love it. They're the only city where the fans are obnoxious that you just...
They're supposed to be the city of brotherly love.
They're just horrendously awful, and it makes the shows so much better.
Mick Foley talks about how in that doc how he asked for a chair, and that's when they threw all the chairs.
They threw all the chairs. Yeah.
See, just smarky behavior. I love it.
What makes Philadelphia those Eagles annoying fans, Flyers fans, in the same sense, makes them absolutely phenomenally great wrestling fans?
Yep.
Oh yeah,
Horrible football, baseball, basketball fans.
Yeah.
Great wrestling fans.
Yep. All right, so my number 2, Philadelphia. Number 2 as well. All right, Primo, give us your number 1, and then me and AJ are going to talk about the real number 1.
That's why I left it to you guys.
Go ahead and set the stage, and then we'll take it from here.
So we had in this city, we had people who wrestled in it, such as Stone Cold, Mick Foley, the Freebirds, the Von Erichs. That's none other than Dallas, Texas.
Stampede
Sticking in Texas.
I'm a Texas boy, born and raised, so I'm sticking with Texas as a number 1 for me. Dallas, Texas. How about WrestleMania next year and WrestleMania a few years ago? I almost went with Houston because they've had some great moments too. But just the names that have passed through Dallas, I stuck with Dallas. Dallas is awesome, and that's my number 1. 5-1 for me. Montreal, Philadelphia, Austin, Chicago, and Dallas.
All right, AJ, hit your 5-2, and then we'll tell everybody the real number 1.
Yeah, the actual number 1.
Yeah,
so
the real one.
I guess you should tell them that's because y'all are from there, that area. Or y'all live there.
I'd say this if I still lived on the East Coast. I'd say this if I lived in Muncie, Indiana.
Muncie, Indiana. So
nobody picked Muncie, Indiana.
So 2 honorable mentions for me: Muncie, Indiana, and Suplex City. Got to mention Suplex.
Suplex City.
Suplex City.
Parts Unknown didn't make the list.
I was there earlier. I'm not impressed.
Yeah.
Way too many Dairy Queens in Parts.
It's right outside of Savannah.
Weird. So number 5, Calgary. Number 4, still in Canada, Montreal. Number 3, New York. Number 2, Philly. And obviously, number one, same as Dirty, that would be Chicago.
5 Greensboro. Right.
True number one.
5 Greensboro, 4 New York, 3 Baltimore, 2 Philadelphia, number 1 Chicago. All you got to do is look up wrestling in any decade.
Yep.
You know, it's the greatest, most rabid, passionate fans in the world. We love our hometown guys. I've adopted them since moving here. You know, the Road Warriors are from Chicago. You know, there's a little guy that you might know.
Yeah.
Also, we talked about him earlier. Lex Luger is also
Lex Luger, yes.
Chicago, the total package.
Yes, yeah. It's, you know, when you know what a pay-per-view is going to be in Chicago, you know it's going to be hot. You say the same about Philadelphia. You know, the fans are going to be into it. It's going to be red hot, scorching all night long. It's going to be fun to watch.
And AEW All Out.
Yep, Chicago.
Yeah, also, AEW All Out. Yep.
Chicago has the greatest face turn in the history of face turns when Stone Cold Steve Austin almost bled to death and passed out while Bret Hart had him in the sharpshooter. Greatest face turn ever happened in Chicago.
WrestleMania 13.
Yep.
Rosemont Horizon.
In the Rosemont Horizon. That's WWE's home away from a home, basically.
It is.
What's it called now? It's not called the Rosemont Horizon.
Allstate Arena.
Allstate Arena, thank you.
Allstate Arena now. But what I love about this place, guys, is it's old enough to where the ceiling is still wood. It looks like a wood floor ceiling. You know, you walk in there, you kind of feel the wrestling nostalgia. You know, WrestleMania 13 happened there. You know, a quick little note. The last time I got to see live wrestling was there.
Was it really?
Survivor Series. Other than Indies, actually, the Survivor Series was there 2 years ago.
Oh yeah, that's right. It was.
Yeah, I did NXT Saturday and then Survivor Series Sunday. That was the big Keith Lee. Whatever happened to that guy? He had a big face-off with Roman. So yeah, it was interesting. But all right, that's our top 5 cities, man. Interesting, fun little top 5 there. So.
By the way, do you want to hear my shorthand for my number 1 Chicago? So number 1 Chicago, obviously. That's all I wrote down with it.
No words. All right, I want to take a second, man. Thank everybody listening on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, and on Sportinarium.com online radio. We are live Fridays at 7:15, right after the Thomas Bryce Show.
I love how long that list is getting.
Yeah, man. We are getting on all the platforms.
Thank you, everyone.
Absolutely. Thanks, everybody. You right there listening right now. Thanks a lot. We are live every Wednesday on twitch.tv/DirtyBird33 with 2 eyes in the bird. Also want to thank Rowdy Energy. I just popped my second. Got a little strawberry lemonade rolling now. Primo's favorite flavor, and also to Coastland Apparel, www.coastlandapparel. Use promo code BirdTV for 15% off. All right, let's close the show out here with some news and notes as we roll on here. Anybody watch the Mick Foley A&E biography?
I did, but I didn't pay much attention because I read his book.
Right, yeah. And honestly, that's kind of where, you know, if you've been watching wrestling a while, especially with these biographies, you already know the story. Mm-hmm. For me, Dark Side of the Ring is different because it's a different angle of, you know, what we're trying to go for. So, but actually, I just watched the Ultimate Warrior Dark Side of the Ring. I can see now why Dana said it was smut. Because
smut and filth.
Smut and filth. Yep.
Yeah, I don't think it was smut and filth.
Is it possibly because Jim Cornette and JR just absolutely took a poo right on him?
Yeah. Well, I mean, honestly, you know, anything you've ever heard about the Warrior, it's always the same. You know, it's always the same thing. So they're just saying what everybody's always said.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, and she they had Warrior.
I guess she didn't like hearing. Oh, that was the thing that I was like, maybe she really didn't like that part.
Yeah, no, not at all.
So anyway, next week's Dark Side of the Ring. I believe this one is the story of the family of Grizzly Smith. I believe, if you guys don't know who Grizzly Smith is, Jake the Snake Roberts' daddy.
Yep.
He and Sam Houston. I think they had another brother too. Anyway, it's the story of them. So that'll be interesting because I don't know a whole lot about that. I kind of know a little bit of the story. So everybody that's just jumped in here, we got a big jump of viewers. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Thanks for being in here. We're wrapping up the show here. Just finishing up some news and notes, but we were talking about it earlier, guys. It's kind of a great. It's kind of a great feeling, man. We're seeing fans coming back to wrestling shows, so that's making it more interesting right off the bat.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think that the fact that they have the live fans,
live
wrestling
wrestlers.
shows. I mean, besides the Stadium Stampede, obviously. No, but for real, the fans being live, it showed that this pay-per-view this over the weekend with AEW, and also even back to WrestleMania, how hot the fans were.
Mm-hmm.
All of us here at home are just chomping at the bit to go watch some wrestling.
We are.
Absolutely.
So it's so cool, man. Especially you're seeing these dates coming around the nation, not just in Florida and Texas now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now they're coming everywhere, which awesome.
Yes, absolutely. All right, so moving on, let's talk about, we got a small little wrestler spotlight here. I want to talk about Jungle Boy, we talked about, we ended up winning the Casino Battle Royal, so he gets to face Omega now, which, it's a small little touch, I think, of what we're going to see maybe later on down the line, so that's interesting. But another thing, too, man, let's talk about Hangman Page for a minute. Where are we going with him? Because I love everything he's doing. He's white meat babyface to me. He was doing the heel thing for a little bit. Is he in Dark Order? Is he out of Dark Order?
He's like the Dark Order's homie.
Yeah. He's like Dark Order adjacent. He's like in Dark Order, but
he's like drinking with Dark Order.
Yeah,
right. Yeah.
He's like, hold my cup while I go wrestle.
Yeah,
which I don't know about you guys, but do y'all feel like the Dark Order is kind of slowly becoming a little bit of crowd favorites? Kind of I feel like, and maybe it's just because the fans are coming back and everybody's just cheering for wrestling, no matter who it is.
Yeah, regardless of who it was.
Yeah, who it is. But when they're out there wrestling now, it seems like more people are paying attention.
I think so. I hope I like the Dark Order, so I hope it's not just fans just cheering on anything. There it is.
Yep.
I mean, but if you think about it, not really, because Team Taz didn't get the same kind of pop with the Dark Order.
That's true. That's true.
But I like we get a bigger pop than them.
Hangman Page has got to be AEW champ at some point, right?
At least TNT.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
At least TNT.
He'll hold belts.
Yeah.
Of some kind.
He seems like a solid workhorse.
Yes.
Yeah. I had the feeling. Go ahead.
I don't think they should put the AEW championship on him, but TNT definitely.
Yeah, I like that. I just felt like when him and Jericho wrestled that first time for the championship, him losing would mean he's going to come back later.
Yeah,
what I mean? Because I felt like it was putting a shine on him, like pretty much said earlier, with Jericho. So, so it's interesting to see where that goes. But all right, another thing last week. It hit Twitter. I think Meltzer and a few other guys dropped on there that the WWE was in talks with New Japan. Now, why would they do that? Are we looking at a partnership here, or are we thinking this is just Vince trying to put the block on AEW? What do you guys think?
I think that Vince is trying to corner the business there, and basically, I don't know. He's probably trying to bully his way into it with money, but I did see that Tony Khan is not the slightest bit intimidated by it.
Nope, not at all.
No, because I think they probably got, if it came down to wallets.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know which one I would pick. I don't know who's got more. I don't know who's got more.
I mean, when you own the Jags, I mean,
the Jags are the smallest. They bought the Jags because they want to have some fun.
Because they're cheap.
They seriously bought the Jags for couch cushions.
Yeah. Their money comes from other things, man, for sure.
I think that
they're loaded.
like I really hope this isn't the case, but I can see Vince McMahon trying to make a partnership with New Japan just so he can put New Japan on the shelf in America.
He watched Collision in Korea and got intrigued.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, what is this continent over here?
Bischoff did that. I want to do that.
All right, guys, let's start to wrap up the show. Favorite champ right now? Well, I don't think we know if we talked about this in an episode or two because I don't know if we changed. But Primo, who's your favorite champ right now?
I'm sticking with Roman.
Okay.
Yeah, he's still my favorite champ. He's still killing it on SmackDown. His whole thing, like the whole thing with him and the family and the Usos now, they're the ones I want to watch on SmackDown.
They're the main storyline. AJ?
I'm changing mine for the first time in. Like,
you're going Miro, aren't you?
That was my second choice.
You're going Miro.
I'm going Miro.
I knew it.
Snake up the ramp.
I almost went Miro, but yeah.
This is what I say because I'm gonna stick with Omega, but Miro after this pay-per-view has got me leaning because you're right, man. It just fits him. He looks like the TNT champ. He's representing it right. Like the belt fits the person. The wrestler fits the belt. That whole, I love it. Yeah,
he's throwing snakes up ramps. He's doing no wrong.
Right.
He's cheap shotting legends.
Yeah, he is. He's calling out old men who do yoga.
Yeah.
Great promos. Mm-hmm. All right, so we got fans back. Let's throw that out of the way. What do we like and don't like about wrestling right now? I'll go first, since you guys have been going first on everything else.
Yes, we do.
Now, a thumbs up on the TNT Championship. I love where they're going with it. We were just talking about it. You know, Darby was involved in it in the beginning, and we were all like, oh, he's making it interesting. He's making it fun. And then when Miro won, we're kind of like, oh, I don't know. But now we're interested, but in a different facet. So I'm going to say thumbs down, up on Miro TNT Championship. Thumbs down, I'm going to say the women's division probably in WWE.
It's awful.
It's lackluster. It's awful. It's kind of hard to watch at the moment. I don't know what they're doing with Charlotte. And, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. Anyway, AJ, thumb up, thumb down.
So, thumbs up.
Thumb up, thumb down.
The old Caesar thumb up for me is AEW. Like they did everything right over the weekend. Their show on Friday, like they built up the pay-per-view, and then the actual pay-per-view just knocked every single thing that they could knock out of the park. Yep. It was a phenomenal show. It was the first one back that had live fans. Unbelievable.
Yep.
So big stinky thumb down to I do agree with you about the women's division. I have hope though, because I remember it was probably like 6 weeks ago I said the women's division was my thumbs up because Charlotte was back, Asuka, all that stuff. Becky Lynch didn't come back. But right now, thumbs down is still Raw. Again, the only thing that I watched on Raw was the Randy Orton and Xavier Woods match. That was it. I skipped the rest.
I'll say this, boys, before Primo starts. It needs a shot in the arm. I'm not a huge Becky fan. I never have been, but the division needs her now probably more than anybody's needed at this point. So get her back. Women's division gets a shot in the arm.
I am a Becky fan.
I am as well.
We're back rolling. I'm just a Charlotte guy. So, Primo, what do you got, buddy?
So my thumb. I get two thumbs. Two thumbs up.
I get the one.
Is the fact that we have these two awesome shows, NXT and AEW, which I get to look for. I do look forward to both of these shows in their entirety each week, and they are on separate nights, back to back on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Yep. So they're not on the same night, feeling like I'm having to watch one or the other. I get to watch one night NXT, the very next night AEW, even though I don't watch them live, so I usually watch them the next morning. Yeah. But I like the fact that it's just these two shows are basically carrying wrestling for me right now.
They are. Yep.
I mean, I guess that could be also a thumbs down that those two shows are carrying wrestling.
Yeah.
But my actual thumbs down, I completely forgot. But I really did have a thumbs down too.
Potatoes.
That's
Zombies.
it. That's it. The fact that I have on my Monday Night Raw list, right, wherever it went. Over here, I have these 3 items, right, for Monday Night. No, that's these right here. That's still I had to really come up with something for 2 of those items
to get that.
And this
much.
is a 3-hour show.
Yeah.
2 things. Go back to 2 hours if you're gonna make like 2.5 hours of the show boring in the first place.
Yep.
And so go back to 2 hours. And secondly, put as much effort into your premiere show as you are into half the effort you put into NXT and some of the effort you're putting into SmackDown.
Yep. Agreed.
All right.
Otherwise, it's just gonna flop around like a dead fish.
All right, so coming up, pay-per-views. What we got coming up? Impact Against All Odds.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, Slammiversary, July 17th. WWE, what do we got coming up? Hell in the Cell is the next one. In a few.
NXT TakeOver.
NXT TakeOver is the 13th. Hell in the Cell is June 20th. What's the next AEW coming up that they announced since it just happened?
Next AEW is... I don't remember.
It's full something.
Full Gear or something like that?
It is...
I think it is Full Gear, actually.
I think it's... No, Full Gear is in November.
Oh.
Is it All Out? Is that the next pay-per-view?
I think it might be All Out. Yeah, I think you're right. Yep, that's the one that's going to be in Chicago.
Yeah, it's in
we were just talking about that.
All Out's in September.
Okay, yep. So that'll be, that one, because we were talking about, we're talking about being in September. Okay, so we got that coming up.
If you want to count Fyter Fest, that's in June.
Oh, yeah.
That's the one. Yeah, that's
I don't. Yep, that's the one thing though too. That's the one they do with like a festival type deal.
Yep.
So SummerSlam hype probably start right after Hell in a Cell, I would think, coming up. SummerSlam August. August normally is when
they have Money in the Bank in July.
Oh yeah, that's right. And then SummerSlam in August. So Primo gets to hold on the trophy for about 2 more months and then it's over. So so all right, so let's that's going to do it for the show today. Let's talk about what we got coming up next week. We're going to talk about our top 5 women's wrestlers, our top 5 favorite women's wrestlers of all time. We have
Nijax.
All of them are Nijax.
All of them.
1 to 5. Next week,
Young.
Next week's guest, we're possibly going to have a guest. But we got 2 guests coming up later in the week. My buddy Chris Wooly is going to come on the show, and then Ziggy's going to make a return at the end of the month, just for a little one night jump in. And also next week we're going to watch Chris Jericho's debut, and as the Millennium Man when The Rock was in the ring, classic, legendary Y2J debut. So that is coming up next week. We'll watch that. Next week we'll talk about our top 5 women's wrestlers. So that's going to do it for today, man. I want to thank everybody listening on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, and on Sportinarium.com. Online radio live every Friday at 7:15 Eastern Time, right after the Thomas Bryce Show. We want to thank everybody for listening, downloading, subscribing all over the world. Man, we can't thank you guys enough. We got tons of things coming up here on the show. Primo, AJ, you got anything you want to say on the way out?
Yeah, go follow the show on Twitter at Sit Down Marks. That's all lowercase SITDOWNMARKS at Sit Down Marks on Twitter. Give us a follow there. You can keep up with all the latest and greatest Sit Down Marks content. And each time you listen to us on any of those audio listening platforms, do us a favor, hit that follow button. It helps support us, gives us the proper analytics, lets us know who's listening. And also, if you could also give Sportinarium Radio a follow on Twitter as well. They have us on their platform now, and it's amazing.
Yes,
yeah, man.
Yes, it is.
We're excited to be on their platform.
Yep. Me too. I did said perfectly. Grab them cakes.
From your mama's kitchen.
Grab them cakes. Are we talking crab cakes or?
No, wait, okay, so anyone listening, you'll figure this out eventually. I'll keep it under wraps for right now, but there's something coming up. I will say that "Grab Them Cakes" is the name of Junkyard Dog's theme song when he would. It's the name of his entrance music. Was "Grab Them Cakes."
Grab them cakes.
Grab them cakes.
Thump on the trunks. All right. So we're ending the day with a Junkyard Dog reference. Once again, thank everybody for tuning in, man. I'm the Dirty Bird. Those are my babyface co-hosts, Primo and AJ.
Later.
They make the show happen, man. So make sure you go give those guys a follow as well. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in live here on Twitch. We're live every Wednesday at 6:30 Eastern, 5:30 Central. Available on basically all the platforms. So go check us out, and we'll thank everybody for subscribing and downloading. All right, everybody, we will see you next Wednesday. This is episode number 12. We'll see you next week, man. Thanks for tuning in. I'm
Adios.
Dirty Bird. Adios.
Peace.